You know, every restaurant is a buffet if you want to pay, especially here in Las Vegas, the all-you-can-eat capital of the world. Hello friends, it's me, Shin, and I'm on a quest to vlog every restaurant on the Las Vegas Strip as well as downtown on Fremont Street. I'm 225 in, and this week's for number 226 through 229. I'm going to be showing you 4 quick stop eateries here that are open late night on Fremont Street. Really happy to have you along. Let's kick things off at White Castle.
All right, everyone, and here we are seated at White Castle. This White Castle burger is situated right at the front of the Fremont Street Experience. And White Castle is a burger chain from the East Coast. And while it had its popularity, it was made a worldwide phenomenon through the movie Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. They specialize in serving sliders. And you can see here the combos range about $10. They also have chicken breast and fish sliders as well. And I'll be completely honest with you in saying that White Castle isn't exactly my favorite burger chain, but I'm still happy to give it a try here on the Fremont Street Experience. I got a double cheese slider combo along with a chicken slider combo and a fish one. And a couple of items I've never tried here, so I'm looking forward to seeing how they are. First off, the signature sliders. Now, the last time I tried these sliders was at the Casino Royale on the Strip, which I felt like just didn't have enough meat in it to be satisfying. That's why I opted for the double burger here. Let's go and give it a shot. Yeah, you know, I'd say that's just okay. Now, if you did watch my Casino Royale video, you know that I wasn't particularly impressed with this. However, I will say that going on the double burger is making a difference. I still like the burger buns here. Super soft buns with a bit of a buttery flavor to it as well. They did get a little bit soggy on the undersides, which is leaving a bit to be desired, but overall it's still doing its job fine. Now, my critique with the burger patties at White Castle is unfortunately they never touch the grill, resulting in a lack of a mild reaction on the beef. They're steamed on top of the onions, which might impart a little bit of that sweet flavor, but unfortunately the lack of a crust definitely isn't the kind of burger that I enjoy the most. It has been well seasoned though. These certainly aren't bland burger patties, and I will say having a double burger patty makes this a lot more enjoyable than a single. On top of that, double slice of cheese actually provides a nice salinity. It really is just the burger patty I think that I want a lot more from. Easily the best flavors that come from a White Castle burger are those caramelized onions, a nice toasty nutty sweetness coming from that, adding little bits of accent flavor. Definitely without these onions, the burger would be lacking severely. But I think my criticism still stands. I just want a little bit more of a crust on that burger to get some more flavor out of it. Next up, the French fries. Longtime viewers of the channel might know that crinkle cut French fries are my favorite French fries, though the last time I had them at the White Castle, they weren't all that great. I'm hoping they're better today. Let's see how they are. Oh yeah, that's good. Very happy with the French fries today. I happened to get an incredibly fresh batch, so I'm enjoying these a lot. A nice healthy crisp to the exterior. I'm definitely a fan of crispy French fries, so having that initial crunch is really satisfying for me. A relatively soft potato center. You can absolutely get the starchy flavors of the potato here, and they're not bland as they have been salted well. Timing on White Castle French fries is paramount, and I happen to get a very fresh batch, so I'm definitely happy with the French fries today. Next up, the fish sandwich. So the last time I went to White Castle, someone in the comments mentioned that the fish sandwich is actually the winner when it comes to White Castle, so I got it here today. And I do love a good fish sandwich, so let's see how it is. Oh yeah, it's pretty good. I'm enjoying this fish slider. I happen to already really love fish sandwiches, and I would say this is actually a pretty decent entry. We're obviously using the same bun as the slider, so it's nice, soft, and buttery, and the same American cheese, delivering a bit of richness as well as salinity. Really, we have to talk about the fish patty, which I'm actually enjoying quite a bit. While there is some crunch, it's not the most super crispy exterior. It definitely has the texture of something being reheated after being frozen. Now that said, I actually do like the seasoning blend in the breading. It's relatively straightforward and simple, but it really does allow you to appreciate both the flavor of the breading as well as the fish. The fish itself actually does have a mild flavor, not too fishy at all. And while I wouldn't say the most flaky texture here, it is kind of falling apart in the center. Overall, it actually does taste pretty good. Personally, I wouldn't mind if this had a bit of a tartar sauce or anything else to provide some additional moisture, but otherwise the flavors here are pretty decent. It's not a bad fish sandwich. I enjoyed that. All right, everyone, now the last bite to try from White Castle today is going to be their chicken sandwich. A chicken breast slider. It looks pretty plain, just a slice of cheese in the center, but I'm hoping this is good. Let's give it a try. Oh yeah, not bad. It's a pretty decent chicken sandwich. While nothing is blowing me away, it's certainly not bad at all. Again, using the same slider bun here. Super soft and buttery. I like that just fine. The same American cheese providing a nice salty flavor. I would say of all the sliders I tried today, the cheese is most pronounced in the chicken sandwich. A similar crunch to that of the fish sandwich here. Not super crispy, but that said, there is still some texture here, so it's still enjoyable. The breading is actually well seasoned. Salt, garlic, and onions are some of the flavors I can make out in the seasoning blend. It's definitely not a bland mix. I do like the flavors here. The texture of the chicken itself, I would say, is just okay. While it's soft, it is a bit on the stringy side, not ultra juicy either, but it has been well brined. Again, this is just not a bland bite at all. I would say this is a decent chicken sandwich, but similar to the fish sandwich, I wouldn't mind if there was a sauce included with the sandwich, just to provide a little bit of additional moisture and some depth in the flavor profile. All right, everyone, so that's going to do it for my dinner here at White Castle. I'm going to go and enjoy the rest of my meal, maybe go play some games, and I'll return tomorrow for lunch where I'll show you another spot. Don't go, I'll be right back. All right, everyone, and here we are seated at Tacos Amiches. It's situated right at the front of the Fremont Street Experience, and it has a pretty authentic taco taqueria vibe. It is a little bit dingy on the inside, but that's part of its charm. And it looks like they're offering a lot of Mexican favorites, tacos, burritos, and quesadillas, ranging between $4 to $15. I've got a nice spread for you all today, including the quesadilla taco, a pollo taco, fish taco, carne asada quesadilla, as well as the carnitas tacos. Some pretty good looking food here. Let's give them a try. First off, the fish taco. You have this available in mild and spicy. I went with the spicy, and I'm guessing that's what this orange sauce on top is. Let's see how it tastes. Oh yeah, that's good. This is actually quite a tasty taco. I'm gonna start with the tortillas. They are store-bought tortillas, and while they don't exactly have the most elastic texture, they're still holding together with the weight of the taco well, and you do get a mild corn flavor from them. Definitely not a bad tortilla shell. I'm actually pretty impressed with this little fish fillet. It's a grilled fish fillet, and there are some crispy bits to it where it met the grill top, and it's very thin, but still relatively flaky. But what I like about it the most is that it's been seasoned very well. You can absolutely get that mild fish flavor despite the fact that there's a lot of other flavors to combat with it. So that said, I'm quite impressed with the fish. The cabbage slaw here provides a nice crunch, and the guacamole is a nice touch, providing some creamy richness. Spicy sauce is for sure spicy. There's a nice heat to this. I feel a few beads of sweat starting to form on my brow, but it's not just the raw capsaicin heat. There is still a good flavor to it. I can taste some garlicky notes in there as well. Altogether, this is actually quite good. A tasty fish taco to start. I like that. Next up, the quesadilla tacos. I did add some consomme here. We'll give it a bit of a dip. Now let's give this a try. Oh yeah, that's good. There's a tasty quesadilla taco. Definitely some good flavors going on here. Now starting with the tortilla, I will say I'm not a big fan of the texture here. It's actually quite soft and mushy. I was hoping for a much more crispy texture to this. It's not even due to it being dipped in the consomme. It's just far too soft. I wish this had some more texture to it. Now that said, the birria meat is actually very good. They're going with a beef birria here, and the meat is quite tender. It's quite well seasoned also. It's got a smoky savoriness to it, as well as some woodsy elements. You do get a nice melty richness from the Oaxaca cheese in here. All the taco elements are working fine. The consomme flavor is actually also quite good. It's ever so slightly spicy, but has some very nice depth and some savory notes. And you can really taste the stewed chilies in this. This is coming together pretty well. A tasty quesadilla taco right there. Next up, a chicken taco. A pretty classic looking street taco. A double tortilla with cilantro and onions. And I certainly like the color on the chicken. Let's see how it tastes. I can't say I'm the biggest fan of these. This is a decent taco, but there are some elements here keeping it from being great. Unfortunately, the store-bought tortillas they're using in this particular instance are quite flavorless. Even tasting them on their own, you're not getting a lot of flavor, and so it's really just a vessel for the taco. Texture-wise, it's okay. It does have a decent elasticity to it, and it's not tearing under the weight or in any of the creases of the folds. But given that it's completely devoid of flavor, I don't necessarily even think you need to double wrap these. I definitely have some mixed feelings on the chicken. For starters, it tastes great. It's well seasoned. There's a slight tanginess to it. The meat itself is still soft and tender. That's all fine. Unfortunately, the chicken meat is actually quite cold. Now, this place only opened an hour ago, and so I imagine they cooked it before, but this doesn't even feel reheated to any degree. It's basically just room temperature. That leaves a lot to be desired. I like hot, fresh food. And so while it tastes good, the temperature and the lack of juiciness is leaving a bit to be desired here. The onions and cilantro are doing their job fine, a little bit of bite as well as some freshness there. But given that the tortilla itself was quite flavorless and the chicken was cold, I'm not enjoying this one all that much. It's a shame though because the chicken actually tastes really good. I just wish it was hot and fresh. Next up, the carnitas taco. Now I guess these were on special today, 2 for 1, which I'm not going to complain about. I'm hoping this doesn't fall victim to the same issue I had with the chicken taco though. Let's give it a shot. Oh yeah, not bad. A pretty decent taco here. I think I can skip over the tortillas, they're using the exact same ones. But my criticisms as well as my praise for those still stand. Onions and cilantro doing the same job here, so we'll skip over those as well, which really leaves us with the carnitas. Now, definitely not the same issue that we had earlier with the chicken. It's not room temperature, it's not cold, but I wouldn't say it's hot either. Just a little bit above warm. I would certainly like there to be some more temperature here. Now, that said, it is a nice soft carnitas meat with a little bit of crisp and chew to the exterior. I'd say texture-wise, the carnitas are actually pretty good. Underneath that exterior layer, the carnitas are actually quite juicy too, so that I can appreciate. That said, I will say the pork flavor is actually quite mild here. I wouldn't mind if this was a little bit better seasoned. While there's a bit of a smokiness to it, I just wish that the flavors were a bit more bold here. Not the most flavorful carnitas I've ever had, but certainly not the most bland. I would say these carnitas are a bit middle of the road, and given that they're just slightly warm and not hot, it's detracting from it quite a bit. Given the two though, I'd probably be going on the carnitas over the chicken. Alright everyone, now the last bite that I'm trying here at Tacos and Miches today is going to be a carne asada quesadilla. At least just from picking this up, I can tell you it is quite hot. So that's already a good start. And for me, carne asada is typically the benchmark for how I grade a Mexican restaurant or a taqueria like this. So let's see how it is here at Tacos and Miches. Oh yeah, that's good. Well, I'm quite happy with this. Now this is a tasty quesadilla. Now the flour tortillas here are store-bought, but they do actually have a nice texture to them. And I will say that there's actually not too much flavor to them. And while the corn tortillas from earlier on the tacos didn't have too much flavor to them, given how much of a crisp has been developed here on the grill top, this particular tortilla does have a bit of a smoky element to it, and so that I'm appreciating. A healthy amount of cheese in here is providing a lot of richness, which a good quesadilla should, and so the base product is already fine. The carne asada is tasty. I'm not sure if it was because it was cooked in the quesadilla, but the carne asada is piping hot, which makes this so much more enjoyable. That alone already gives it such a huge leg up from the previous bites. The carne asada is actually quite tender, very soft, and it's been seasoned beautifully. A slightly tangy and savory flavor to that carne asada, with a bit of a smoky accent flavor coming from the grill. I like the carne asada here a lot. It's a simple and straightforward recipe, but quesadillas have been something I've enjoyed my entire life, and I'm certainly enjoying the one here. And I think carne asada is going to be the meat to get here at Tacos and Miches. Alright everyone, so that's everything I'm trying here at Tacos and Miches today. I'm going to continue enjoying my lunch, and when we return, I'm going to be showing you another quick eats late night spot here in downtown Las Vegas. Don't go, I'll be right back. Alright everyone, now I've returned to Fremont Street today for some lunch, and I'm kicking things off at 322 Pizza Bar. Currently open from noon to 2 a.m. every day. This spot is serving a pizza by the slice as well as whole pies, hot dogs, and they have a full service bar in the back as well. I got a cheese pizza, a meat pizza, as well as a hot dog today. And the prices here do seem to be about on par with what you're going to find on the strip, about $9 to $10 a slice. But I'm hoping it's good, so let's give this all a taste. First off, plain cheese pizza. I'd say a good gauge to find out how good a pizza place is to try out their plain cheese pizza. So I've got a plain cheese slice here. Let's see how it is. Yeah, not bad. I'd say this is your quintessential run-of-the-mill pizza. It's certainly better than something you're going to find pre-frozen. But especially late night, I think this will get the job done. The crust is actually pretty decent in flavor. It's not bland. They've applied a lot of butter to this. So if you don't like flavorless crust, at least you shouldn't have to deal with too much of that here. That said, I wouldn't mind if this was a little bit more toasty. Texture-wise, I would say the crust is actually quite chewy. Personally, I would like a little bit more of a crispy underbottom as well as a bit more of an airier center. That said though, for middle-of-the-street pizza, I think this crust is fine. The pizza sauce is actually pretty good. It's a simple sauce, but it does the job. A little bit of sweetness there as well as some moisture. There's a fair amount of oregano in this sauce. Lots of garlic powder as well. And so this does have a much more pungent and floral flavor when it comes to the sauce. And I'm not going to complain about that. That's just a lot more depth into the profile in general. I'd say the cheese is just okay. It's a mozzarella cheese. It's rich, It's salty, but it has a little bit more of that processed-like texture, a little bit more stringy than it is melty. While it fulfills its purpose, it's just not top quality cheese, but a relatively flavorful sauce. Altogether, this is working fine. Pretty middle of the road cheese slice there. Next up, the meat pizza. Off the rip, I gotta tell you, this is probably 3 times heavier than the cheese pizza. They did not skimp on the toppings at all. Let's see how this one is. Oh yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, that's a pretty good slice right there. We'll just briefly discuss the elements that are the same with the cheese pizza. Still a very buttery crust. I think they've applied some kind of garlic butter, especially to the outer ring, delivering some pretty good flavors. I like that. The cheese is still a little bit on the stringy side, but working fine. And after trying the second slice, I would say the sauce is definitely the best of the basic 3 ingredients. I must say I actually like the amount of meat on this pizza. I mean, visually you can tell there's a lot there, but you understand it even more in depth in the flavor profile. Incredibly meaty, actually quite salty as well. Both the pepperoni and the sausage have a high amount of salinity. Though the Italian sausage does particularly have some good flavors, you can taste some of the fennel and other Italian spices. I like that sausage quite a bit. The ham has a slight sweetness to it, and a bit of spice from the pepperonis. This is an incredibly savory pizza. You should be able to get a fair amount of protein biting into this. And given that a meat pizza that weighs literally 3 times as much as the cheese for $1 more, if you're gonna be getting pizza at 322, I definitely recommend going on the meat. All right, everyone, now the last bite to try from 322 Pizza is gonna be their hot dog. A pretty basic looking hot dog. I've got ketchup, mustard, and relish on the top. And let's give it a try. Yeah, not bad. That's a decent hot dog. Very middle of the road, everything you're expecting, and all the expectations are met. A very classic store-bought hot dog bun, completely untransformed, it hasn't even been toasted. It's very soft, and it has a bit of a sweet flavor to it. This tastes very much like a Nathan's beef frank, and so flavor-wise, I'm not disappointed. A good meaty quality to this hot dog. It's not absolute mush in the center, and while I wouldn't mind some snap to the exterior, I would say texture-wise this is totally passable. A straightforward, salty, beefy flavor coming from that hot dog. About as middle of the road as you're gonna find when it comes to a hot dog like this. Ketchup, mustard, and relish is how I prefer to have my hot dogs. A little bit sweet, a little bit of kick, and some tangy sweetness from the relish works fine for me. Very classic hot dog right there. All right, everyone, so that's going to do for my lunch here at 322 Pizza Bar. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and when I return later tonight, we'll do our final restaurant that I'm going to be showing you in this video. I'll be right back. And welcome back, everyone. Now it's time for the last eatery I'm going to be showing you in today's video, and that's here at the D. This is American Coney Island hot dogs. Now this particular restaurant chain comes from Detroit, and it's over 100 years old. American Coney Island here at the D is open 24 hours a day, and so you'll be able to get your chili dog fix whenever you like. It looks like the majority of the items here range from about $5 to $7. And today I've got the Coney, a loose burger, chili cheese fries, as well as a brownie. Looking forward to some American classics. Let's give them a try. First off, the classic Coney Island. A nice chili cheese dog here with mustard and onions, and apparently a family recipe that's over 100 years old. Let's see how it is. Oh yeah, it's pretty good. This is a solid chili cheese dog at the American Coney Island. All of the elements are working well for me. A super soft bun. I'm talking soft as a cloud. Very little resistance to this bun. And it's actually quite neutral in flavor also. Despite its airiness, it's holding together the weight of the hot dog, so it's working well. The dog itself is nice. Really nice snap to the casing. Absolutely love that texture. And the meat inside has been well emulsified. It's well seasoned, a nice salty hot dog, and a good meaty quality to it. I do like the dog in here. Now the chili is interesting, though a little bit milder in flavor than some of the more robust chilies I've had. And I wouldn't say there's much spice here either. I wouldn't mind if there's a bit of additional kick. It is a ground meat chili, no beans in here, so it's a pretty straightforward consistency and a pretty classic chili flavor. I do like the pungent notes coming from the yellow mustard, and some really good bite coming from the raw onion. Personally, I do wish that the chili had a bit more of a robust flavor here, but I am glad that throughout the bite you are able to taste the flavors of the hot dog. In general, not bad at all. Pretty tasty chili dog right there. Next up, the loose burger. I was not exactly sure what to expect when I heard the term loose burger, but I see it now. This bun is filled with ground beef, obviously not formed in the shape of a patty, but just filling out the hot dog bun. Chili cheese onions applied on top. Let's give it a try. Oh yeah, not bad. Definitely an interesting recipe. The standard shared elements here are all fine. Again, a very soft bun, very neutral in flavor. It really just acts as a vessel for the rest of the recipe. Again, the chili does have a nice savory flavor, though a little bit less robust than I would prefer, and some good notes coming from that yellow mustard as well as the bite from the raw onion. Really, the discussion has to come down to the loose burger, which is effectively just coming down to seasoned ground meat. I would not be surprised if this was the same meat that they used in the chili, just unseasoned in the chili seasonings, because texture-wise, it's all very, very similar. And with a soft bun, there just isn't a lot of variation here. Now, the ground beef is actually very well seasoned. You can actually make its flavors out more than the chili in the bite, which is interesting. Not only is there salt, pepper, garlic, and onion that I can make out, but I think there's also small bits of chili pepper in there providing some kick. I do actually like the taste of the ground meat. I think if this was actually formed into a burger patty made on a grill top so that it had a bit of a crust to it, I think I would actually enjoy this a lot more. But given that it's all the same consistency and textures, while it does taste good, it does leave the mouthfeel to be a little boring for me. Next up, the chili cheese fries. Very classic looking chili cheese fries here. And I've got a nice fork full. Let's see how it tastes. Oh yeah, not bad. This seems like the quintessential mid-range chili cheese fry. Nothing's bad about it, but nothing particularly stands out either. I'd say the fries are just okay. Even those that were not covered in any chili didn't have too much of a crisp to it. And tasting the French fry on their own without any chili on top, I'd say the flavors are also quite muted as well. You can't really taste too much of that starchy potato, though I suppose in a chili cheese fry dish, you don't necessarily need too much of it to be satisfied. This is probably the most focused I've been able to taste the chili. Given that there's no hot dog or seasoned meat to compare and contrast with the flavors, I'm able to distinctly make out the chili flavors more here. I think my initial assessment was correct. It's not a bad chili flavor, but personally I wouldn't mind if it was a little bit more robust. It's savory but a bit muted, and as mentioned before, I think I want a lot more heat here. Some additional kick would go a long way in making this chili have some depth. I think this particular recipe for chili plays it a bit safe, but I suppose at a general palate level, maybe this is a much more acceptable and balanced flavor. I think foodies who really want a little bit more depth out of their chili might find this one a bit lacking, and given that the texture of the French fries are just okay, I would say these are relatively middle of the road. I've definitely had better chili cheese fries. Alright everyone, so the last bite that I'm going to be having tonight is going to be the dessert option here at American Coney Island, and that's the brownie. Nice big brownie with nuts and caramel. I've got a nice big forkful here. Let's give it a shot. Can't say I'm the biggest fan of this one. Well, this is definitely disappointing. I was expecting a lot more from this bite, but unfortunately, I am not digging this one at all. The chocolate flavor is so bitter. I'm curious if this is how the flavors were intended. I can't believe I'm saying this about a brownie, but there's just not enough sweetness in the initial flavors. The only real sweetness I'm getting out of the entire brownie is actually coming from the caramel. This is actually quite perplexing when it comes to the flavors. I was expecting so much more from this. The brownie itself is very soft. It's quite moist also, so I don't think the issue is that it's old, but it definitely feels like there was just a lot of sugar missing in the brownie itself. I do not like the flavor tonight at all. There are some chopped nuts on top, delivering a bit of an earthy flavor, and the caramel here is the saving grace when it comes to the sweet notes. That is the most enjoyable part. This is a bit discouraging. I was hoping for a lot more from this one. Don't think I'll be getting that brownie again. Alright everyone, so that's going to do it from the 4 quick stop eateries that are open late night here on Fremont Street. I hope you enjoyed the video. 2 24-hour locations as well as 2 spots open until 2 a.m. They're all quick service. You're able to get your food within minutes. And if you're looking to party and you just want to get some quick calories in, I hope these 4 options have given you some insight as to what you have available to you. Alright everyone, now that's going to do it for this week's video where I continue my quest to vlog every restaurant on the Las Vegas Strip as well as downtown on Fremont Street. Make sure you return next Saturday. I would love to have you as I continue to add to my collection. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great week, and I hope you enjoy Vegas with me, Shin. Bye.